Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my dear Hatchet man. If you guys have watched my last playthrough, which was See-Through Need a Friend, this game in particular was actually referenced in that game. By the way, before we actually get started, I just want to let you guys know, if you guys want me to try out your games, or like, you know, there's a particular game you want me to try out, just let me know in the comments below, or just reach out to me on Twitter or something. I'm always happy to try out something new. But anyway, let's get started. It was somewhat of an old habit of mine to walk. Every night, I walked. Due to the consistency of my routine, walking has helped me put my mind at ease and numb out the fresh, cool nights. Besides, it was a good source to wear me down before bed. I don't have to rely on sleeping meds as much. There was nothing fun about laying in bed, having my eyes glued to the ceiling and disassociating. I have become so familiar with the path, staring at the same damaged sidewalk, hitting a couple of pebbles with the tip of my shoes. I would usually disappear into the woods for 20 minutes or so. I wouldn't call myself a nature lover per se. Hell, I would not imagine myself abandoning my phone. But at night, the woods were all I wanted. I don't know why, but this has been the only place that gave me motivation to move, to get out of bed. College hasn't been too kind to me, and having just moved out on my own just recently made me feel all the more isolated. Was there something wrong with me? No. Taking little walks to relax at night to sleep is normal. I never strayed from my path. It has practically become burned into my memory, and I was kind of proud of that. It was like my own little secret hideout, where if I could, one day just disappear from it all. However, today, I feel bold, and so I wandered off from my usual path, heading to the wild. At first, the new environment felt nice. Without noticing, time kinda flew by and all my sense of direction withered away. I now find myself confused and alone. In the woods. Fuck. I couldn't recognize any noticeable landmarks to help my way out. Ah, how funny is this? I feel like the final girl of a campy slasher movie being tracked down by the killer. Fuck, I'm so stupid. Of course I was going to end up lost. Great. Not only am I lost, it's dark. No stars, only the faint light of the moon not doing much to help. But I'm losing sleep as we know it. I could feel the soles of my feet starting to ache. Perhaps now might be a good time to collect myself before I have a full-blown meltdown in the middle of the woods. I lay my head low, feeling a heavy weight on me. I took a few deep breaths. Should I cry or stay silent? You know what? This is a video game. I'm gonna cry. Too late. I couldn't help but feel warm, frustrating tears run down my face. I let out a few soft sobs, forcing myself to stay as quiet as possible. For God's sake, I really don't know where the hell I am. Snap! The deafening silence was abrupted by what seemed like a twig? What the hell made that sound? I jumped, startled. I took a few steps back, nearly losing my balance. Wherever that sound came from, I didn't see anything. Ah, don't cry. A muffled voice came behind me. I quickly turned around and see a person. I still could not make out his features well. His hair was wild, sticking out from the top of his head. He is so cute! He was holding something, a hatchet. Am I about to get murdered? My muscles tensed up as I prepared to make a break for it. He seemed to notice my mannerism. Hey! He held up his hands, letting the hatchet slip from his fingers and into the grass. His movements were slow and harmless. Take it easy. Who the hell are you? Just some guy trying to help you out. That's it. That wasn't very comforting at all. Especially now that he reached over the ground, retrieving his hatchet and casually swung it over his shoulder. Why the hell did he sneak up on me like that? Why was he in the woods? Wait, was he following me? Where did you even come from? I live here actually, just a couple of miles. Got my own place and everything. Why do you have an axe? Also, I wasn't crying. It's a hatchet, first of all. Sure. Are you gonna murder me? What? No, I was getting some firewood. It's starting to get cold around here. I'm still trying to come down from the adrenaline. I didn't even notice the chilly breeze. I started connecting the dots. He was probably telling the truth. I'm not at all experienced in forest living. Who am I to tell him that he doesn't know what he's talking about? So why exactly did you come here? Well, you want to get out of here, don't you? I know my way around. Maybe I'm being too paranoid. He doesn't seem like he has any intention of hurting someone. See, Lionel? Not everyone is out to get you. Just follow him and he could take you back home. In case you're still skeptical, you can go behind me. He offered out his hand, of course. I hesitated, but I took it anyway. I could feel his fingerless gloves as he gave my hand a tight squeeze. He has some coarseness, but that didn't bother me. It took us a good while to get back. Must have really wandered far way off than I expected. The trees were becoming less dense, and I could see his traits more and more. His eyes were particularly striking. They were both different. I shouldn't be staring. It seems kind of rude. In fact, the whole time, I've been kind of acting rude, huh? Hey, Sorry for being kind of reluctant back there. He simply shrugged and smiled at me. God damn it, why are you so cute? Yeah, I don't blame you. He's so cute! I mean, if I was in your position, I probably would have freaked out if I saw some random guy with an axe approach me as well. Hatchet. Sure. That seemed to get a laugh out of him and let out some tension as well. It's been a while since I laughed. Nowadays, it's been feeling like I have been so isolated. I'm surprised I could achieve a conversation with him, let alone other people. With time, the dirt path merged with the edge of the sidewalk. Thank God we made it. What a relief. There you go. Oh my God, thank you. I did notice that I was still holding his hand. He gave me a small smile before I stuffed my hands behind my pockets. Other than having a breakdown in the woods, this entire experience wasn't that bad. I'll see you around then. He continued to stand in his place while I turned my back from the woods, walking into my neighborhood once again. Stopping at the front door, I gave him one last wave. I couldn't really tell from the distance, but he seemed to wave back. I'm so tired. Exhausted. I immediately threw myself onto my bed, finally able to get some rest. My eyes, they feel heavy. That stranger, he seemed nice. I didn't catch his name. I'll ask him tomorrow. My body's aching. Feels like someone is on top of me. Oh God! How long did I sleep for? It seems way too bright to be early in the morning. I guess it must have been incredibly late when I slept. Last night, memories started flooding back to the encounter I had with that stranger in the woods. I feel some sort of mixed comforting jitters sinking in. I had only moved in a couple of weeks ago, but now, knowing that he has been in the woods this entire time, I've been exploring them, it was a little uneasy to process. It's like a part of my privacy had been exposed. To be fair, I do feel a little silly thinking that. I didn't own the woods. If anything, I invaded his privacy by going off my usual path. Although I haven't lived here for very long, I'm surprised I haven't heard about a man living in the forest. Then again, it's not like I'm really chatting with the neighbors to inform me about it. Was I thinking too much about this? Am I being insensitive? Should I be feeling like I want to run into him again? Yeah, I didn't ask for his name. Let's check on my phone. Before doing anything, I wanted to catch up on what has been happening. I only see one message. It was an unknown number? Yeah, sure. Hey, do you know the chapter we are studying for English? This is Erica, by the way. Oh! Erica! I remember her. She's one of my class. I could recall we exchanged phone numbers because our professor recommended it. She was the one who approached me. Didn't talk to her a lot. She didn't seem like the type, but would casually answer questions in class. One thing that stuck out, however, was that she had an incredible style. She had an eye for colors and patterns from what I could tell. It was surprising that she wasn't taking a fashion course, but instead an interior design course. Erica was cool and seemed like she had her shit together, unlike me. Chapter 4, I believe. With a groan, I forced myself up from the comfort of my bed. To be honest, it seemed better to do something than be slacking around in my sheets. This has been the first time I've been motivated to do anything in a while. That's kinda sad. Oh. Thanks. Sorry, can you tell that I don't text often? That made me smile. Just a bit. It seems like a stupid decision to go back into the forest just to thank some stranger. Dangerous, some might say. I mean, at least the sun was still out, so it wouldn't be as bad as staying in the woods at night. Right? I stuffed my phone into my pocket and prepared to get ready. I walked back into the familiar path. The cool air was sharp as ever. I could feel it nipping at the tip of my nose. I tried to recall the path I took that initially got me lost yesterday. It didn't take long for me to fall back into a daze, feeling senselessly strayed. Alright, Lionel. Just thank him and you can go on your merry way and get some shut-eye. Simple as that. Thoughts started to speculate in my head the more I paced around in a frantic circle. Why am I being stupid? You should be here, right? Why did I think this was a good idea? It would be nice to have someone to share the woods with. What if he hurts me, like he did? Oh, you're here again. Oh, thank God! It might have been my desperation, but the sound of his voice took off a huge wave of relief. I turned around too eagerly, seeing a smug expression on his face. He made me happy in a way. You seem to get easily lost. What if I wasn't here to help you out, doe eyes? Don't make me blush! His comment made me play with the hem of my sweater. I could feel my cheeks starting to burn. Hopefully he didn't notice. Well, I actually came to see you. Why did I say it like that? I wanted to thank you. Properly, I mean. I know I already did last night, but I might have come off as cross. And I still feel bad about the whole ordeal. I started to ramble at this point. I need to get this over with before I come off as hysterical. So, thank you, Alan. I'm sorry? My name is Alan. Might as well get it out of the way. Oh, well, thanks for helping me out, Alan. I gave his name a try. It came out softer than how I usually speak. I have a crush on Woodsy boy. Oh god. I noticed him begin to smile, avoiding eye contact. I was beginning to feel the silence between us start to grow. No problem. Besides, it is really sweet of you to come back just to tell me that. Oh, he was flirting. It was kinda cute how he became so bashful, then flirtatious so suddenly. I couldn't help but smile back at him. We began to start a whole different conversation from there. At first, it was just a regular small talk. Most of it about me, of course. I told him what I did for a living and what I was currently studying. He seemed to be a good listener, or at least, I think he was trying to be. It became evident that I kinda ran out of things to talk about. It was only fair to ask about him, right? I don't want to make it seem like that I was only interested in talking about myself. Not to sound rude or anything, but... Huh? I'm a little curious about your whole thing here. Oh. I don't know, I just moved in and it's none of my business, but why do you live all the way out here? How come no one has ever told me about you? He seemed to give some thought to my questions. He simply gave me a shrug. Dunno. I always figured I lived better on my own, I guess? At least, that's what I think. So, maybe he was a bit of a hermit? I totally don't mean to judge him. In a way, I kinda do feel for him, not wanting to interact with others. He was just a little more on the opposite end. Maybe he thinks I'm the weird one for wanting to interact with him. It's not every day someone just comes back to thank you for helping them out of the woods. For a loner, he sure was easy to talk to. He was the one to first start a conversation better than I ever could. Hey. He snapped me out of it, like he knew I was about to get lost in my thoughts. Wanna go check something out? I think I might like it. I blinked. The way he worded it sounded very vague. I know, it depends. Are you gonna trick me and plan my murder? Sounds very fishy of you, Alan. I joked, and he seemed to get a good laugh out of it. It was not a very good joke, but it felt good to just laugh with someone. Maybe I needed this. I just needed to talk to someone. I mean, now you got me curious. Might as well, right? Good. He seemed extremely pleased that I agreed. He took hold on my shoulder to guide me to the direction he planned to take me. We both took our time walking through the forest, having a whole casual conversation to make up for it. It felt like being reunited with an old friend and trying to catch up on your lives together. It was nice. I began to share some stuff to Alan that I haven't been able to talk about for a while. In return, he told me a little things about himself. I took notice of him trying to crush crunchy leaves under his shoes, sometimes getting bummed out if one didn't crunch. It's adorable! It was kinda cute. I noticed his skin looking slightly more sickly pale. Tiny, but still noticeable scratch across his cheeks. And his eyes bore dark circles. It almost looked like he was about to collapse, but he looked so gentle. He seemed to have noticed that I was looking at him. Oh no, I got caught. I ducked my head, scratching the side of my cheek. Before I could come up with an excuse that I totally wasn't staring at him, Alan pushed my head down, getting onto my knees rather painfully. What the? Shh! Alan crouched down beside me, carefully moving closer to what seemed like a small stream, with wildflowers and vegetation, almost like a mini meadow, covering the entire land. Then I see a deer. It was happily nibbling on some grass and on occasion would twitch its cute, fluffy tail. Both me and Alan didn't move a muscle, so as to not scare the cute creature, but we still enjoyed the view. Little cutie, ain't he? I always come here to see if he's still around. That was adorable. Who knew Alan had such a sensitive soul? At least, that's what I thought. It may not come as a surprise to you, but my favorite animals are deers. Is that why you called me doe eyes before? Do I remind you of a deer, Alan? Alan stayed quiet, a little taken aback by my question. However, another sound stopped him from responding. He got lucky. Huh? They're new. Oh! Another deer emerged from the wood, joining in. I couldn't deny that it was rather an adorable sight to see. Maybe it's more than one reason. What was that? It was barely a whisper. I could only manage to hear a few words from him. Nothing. Anyway, wanna grab a bite to eat? I know there's a store not that far from here. Why not? I'm getting kind of peckish. He swiftly got back to his feet again, not bothering to dust off his clothes. He still had the decency to hold out his hand for me to get up. Alright, we probably won't take long if we get going now. Much like before, he kept holding my hand through the entire walk back to civilization. It stopped feeling so foreign, as if I knew Alan and trusted him enough to hold hands. Is that the only reason why you're holding hands? Just because you trust him? Is that the only reason why we're holding hands? Like, let's be honest here. I got the hots for Alan. I don't know why he made me feel so safe. I feel melodramatic thinking about it. Everything seemed to get blurry and I could feel my stomach doing flips. It was then that this obnoxiously bright light of the store pulled me out of the trance. There were a couple of people in this small store, most of them adults, collecting some boxes of beer. Alan started scanning around, as if to memorize where everything was. His attention was immediately caught by the ice aisle, his smile brightening like a child. Pick anything you want. It's on me. How generous of him. I looked around and decided to get... okay. He was looking at the ice aisle, so... You know what? Let's get an ice cream to share. I'm not saying I want to have cream all over Alan. Not that kind of cream. Guys, where are you going? Guys, no. Stop. No. No. I reached in the cold freezer, grabbing myself whatever seemed most appealing. Alan flashed me a smile. He seemed giddy that we got the same thing. Got everything? Yeah. Let's go. We left the store, basking in our glorious treats. Alan proceeded to scarf his ice cream down. You're gonna choke yourself eating it like that. Then that's how I want to go. Here lies Adam, deaf. Here lies Alan, deaf by ice cream. I'm sorry, Alan. I didn't mean to mispronounce your name. He dramatically put his hands to his heart and lowered his head, all gloomy. I snorted and playfully pushed him, though I could barely manage to make him lose his footing. People would think you died from lactose then. I mean, I kinda am lactose intolerant. Just a bit. And you took that risk? I like to live on the edge. Oh my god, that grin, god damn. But I roll my eyes. No, seriously, I stole 5 chocolate bars while nobody was looking. My tongue is going blah 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 blah. What? You shoplifted? He gave me a proud smirk, unzipping his coat, showing me his loot. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't fucking believe it. This man just robbed a store. How did I not even notice him? He must have been a real sneaky or quick. You should see the look in your face right now. He reached in, grabbing one from his stash. You can't just... That isn't... I said it was on me, right? They aren't gonna waste their time over some shit like stone candy. Besides, his fingers fidgeted with the wrapper, prying it open and taking a bite before nudging it towards me. Stolen stuff tastes better. Hesitantly, I reached over and took the tiniest bite. I couldn't explain it, but he was right. It was like the forbidden candy bar. Still, I feel kind of bad that he went out of his way to steal stuff from me. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna offer him a taste of mine. It only seemed fair, right? It was the least I could do. I motioned my ice cream towards him. At first, he gave me a confusing look, but soon got the hint. He leaned down, accepting my offer. Unknowingly, he grazed the top of my hand as I held the ice cream. Or maybe he did. I could feel him tightening his grip slightly as he looked up at me. I could feel the tips of my ears beginning to heat up. I could not look anywhere else besides his gaze. You have good taste, doe eyes. He only smiled at me before walking away and continued to eat his forbidden chocolate bar. Oh my. Hey! I followed him soon after. He walked all the way back to my house, eating the stolen candy. I got some sort of cheap thrill knowing we could have potentially gotten caught, and Ellen shared that feeling as well. Being with him was thrilling. I didn't notice how late it was as soon as I reached the comfort of my bed. I felt tired, sure, but I feel satisfied? At ease? Whatever I felt, I knew I was going to see him again tomorrow. Huh? I opened my eyes, but I couldn't see anything. I tried to feel around, but nothing appears to be in front of me. What the f- Fingers start tightening around my throat. Oh my. Oh, Alan. Oh. I started to claw desperately. My lungs feel like they're about to collapse. Oh, god damn it, it was just a dream. Holy shit. What a way to start a morning. Yeah, let's check our messages. Why not? For God's sake, it isn't even a person that woke me up. Say it was a goddamn emergency alert. Something about another missing person. Seems like it is out of my control. My head was pounding and I felt incredibly drained. The time reminded me that I got only a measly 3 hours of sleep last night. A half-empty bottle of sleeping mats on its side. I did not want to get up. I wanted to see Alan, though. I wonder what he was gonna plan for today. He had a knack for keeping me on my toes and surprising me. He makes me feel warm every time I think about him. He was kinda strange, but it was charming in a way. Well, if I was ever going to see him, I might as well get ready. Despite the rough morning, I didn't feel quite as tired as I did before. It could be because I was pretty much looking forward to meeting up with the local cryptic man I met just 2 days ago. It was certainly worth getting lost in the woods just to hang out with Alan. Much better than wasting my time being cooped up inside my home. Water bottles and dirty laundry take up the space. Oh. Hey Alan. Right on cue. I see Alan from the distance, waiting for me, I presume. He appeared to be playing around with his hatchet before noticing my presence. He cutely waved at me with the biggest grin on his face. Did he always have sharp molars? Lionel, you made it! Hey Alan, sorry if I was late. Not really, you're right on time actually. Really? Huh. I figured because of my lack of sleep, I would have arrived later than expected. Alan rested his hands on his knees, trying to get at my eye level. He was really close. Ready for what I have planned for today? He flashed me a hopeful smile. How could I say no to his excitement? Yeah, let's... Before I could answer, my phone went off. Sorry. It feels rude to answer a phone call while Alan is around, waiting for me to answer. But what if the call was something important? Hey! Oh, hey, what's up? Immediately after speaking, I looked over to Alan, who seemed to have an annoyed expression on his face. Sorry if I'm bothering you at the moment. I know it's the end of the week, and trust me, I want nothing more than to shun the rest of the world as well, but... I want you to meet me at the park. Is that okay? I don't see why not. Erica might have needed something from me. It wouldn't be cool to leave her like that. Sure thing. Can I bring a friend over? My eyes hovered over to Alan. His annoyed face now brightened when I mentioned him. Although once I took my eyes off him, I could have sworn that his smile dropped once again. As long as you get your hermit ass over here, I don't see the harm. Don't be late, or I'll end up ditching you. I couldn't tell if she was joking or not. She has a strange sense of humor that sometimes flew over my head. We both hung up and I looked back to Alan. His displeased face was replaced by a curious one. Whoa. He appeared to be looking at my phone. Guess I've been gone for a while. What? My phone? Never seen a phone before? Oh no, not that. I do have a phone, but... Alan proceeds to reach in his back pocket, pulling something out. It was a phone. An old flip phone. Haven't seen those bricks in... forever. Mine isn't as cool as yours. He smiled bashfully before putting his phone away. Wow. You need to get caught up with the current times, Alan. Our phones do so much more now. Ah, that's incredible. We both started to walk to the park as I showed him all the apps I had. Being in the woods, there wasn't any steady signal, so showing him any type of social media was thrown out the window. Nevertheless, he was still impressed as I bombarded him with the new information. If what he said was true, then he must have been off of society for a long time. A really long time. Why was he in the woods? What happened to him? I didn't realize that huge scar on his arm. Were those stitches? Oh God. Alan. What happened to you? Both me and Alan continued to talk about our day as we made our way to the park. I wondered why Erica wanted me to come. We didn't have to study or do anything class related, which is what she usually calls for. She told me that she doesn't usually date classmates or hang out with them outside of class because, well, too many guys thought they had a chance of borrowing my bras and were disappointed after I had the gall to reject them. Yikes. Made me wonder why she decided to approach me in the first place. Lionel! A voice I didn't recognize called my name. Alan puts on a displeased look, his eyes watching the other side of the park. I could see two people, one I could immediately recognize as Erica. The other person... I've never seen him before. How did he know my name? Oh my god, Lionel! Hi? This guy was sure... eccentric. From the tone of my voice, he could tell I was confused. Do you not remember me? He sounded kind of disappointed. Jeez, dude, now you're making me feel bad. I gave him a good long look, the hamster wheels in my head beginning to move. Actually... Stu? The guy gave me a smile and a wink. Right on! Oh my god, it was him! I could see the life nearly draining out of his eyes. I could barely hold my excitement in. Stu was a good friend of mine, back since we were kids. Even before the two of us attended school together, we knew each other. It was when I left for college, we kinda lost touch. Why couldn't you just greet me yourself, you bozo? Wanted to surprise you. What a guy. He always had something up his sleeve. He seemed quite as pleased as I was. I didn't think I would have missed him so much. Oh, I totally forgot. I've been so caught up with Stu and Erica, I seem to have just left Ellen out of the conversation. However, by the look of his face, it didn't appear that he wanted to be a part of this. I kind of felt bad. This is Alan. Hey. His tone was very uninterested. The three remained silent after Alan greeted himself. Erica had this look in her eyes. I couldn't tell what she was thinking, but she appeared to be deep in thought. Please, somebody break the silence. I'm gonna say something. Great, looks like it's up to me. So, wait. All three of them looked at me once I spoke up. How did you and Erica even know each other? Stu remained silent, but Erica spoke up before him. Oh, he approached me after seeing me talking to you after class, saying that he knew you. I was a bit stunned. Did Stu go to the same college as me and Erica did? That's a bit questionable. Alan spoke up. It was a bit startling since he has only ever said one word in the entire conversation. Erica only eyes him, while Stu seems a bit stiff. Things seem to have gone a bit out of hand now. Why didn't you just approach Lionel in the first place? That's true. Why didn't he? Stu was always the type to make the first move when greeting someone. Hey now, it's a little rude to intrude on someone when you first met, don't you think, big guy? You're avoiding the question. The two were now staring each other down. Me and Erica looked at each other as if we both read each other's minds, plagued with worry. Surprisingly, Erica stepped in. Thank God. If you really want to know, he approached me first because he was asking for my number. Stu! That makes more sense. I see. What? Lionel! No, I get it. I'll see you around then, Stu. It was at this point Alan took hold of me with a satisfied look on his face. Without a word, he took me away from the park. He wrapped his arms around me protectively. I can't explain why, but him being so close to me like this brought me comfort. He gave me a comforting smile, which I also returned. Lionel, wait! I looked back, seeing Erica running up to me, Stu right behind her. I do feel bad for leaving them behind at the drop of a hat. Alan looked at me, shaking his head disapprovingly, as if telling me that talking to them wasn't worth it. Let me explain myself, please! Alright, what is it? I couldn't leave him like this. He was my friend. My first ever friend. Alright, Stu. Go ahead. He side-eyed, looking to the ground and fiddling with pockets of his pants. Listen, Erica worded it weird. I know that back then I wasn't, well... What I mean is that, please don't perceive me in that type of way. I really just wanted to see you. I heard enough, Stu. I gave him a reassuring smile. Remembering Stu back then, he was kind of a flirt with everyone. It shouldn't surprise me that he tried to get with Erica. I don't know if I got upset at Stu for still getting into his old ways or that I got upset that he was flirting with Erica. God, why would I be upset? God, like literally, my friend finally sees me after all this while, and literally, the only reason why he came to see me is just because... Yeah, it's because of his goddamn antics. Like, this is clearly... If I was running on instinct, I would assume that he's only talking to me just because he wants to get it on with Erica and just show like, oh my god, I am such a good boy. I am the best boy. You should date me and not this bozo. Like, go look at me. I have friends. Oh my god. But of course, I know that wouldn't be the case. I know that it's likely that he didn't want to see me. But of course, he would have taken the opportunity to speak to Erica just because, you know, people just want to, you know, get to know other people. Or hell, if you're a big flirt, well, that's not that big of a deal. Just don't be a, you know, a bag of pee-pees about it. But anyway, I'm upset at Stu's antics. Even back then, it bothered me that, and I didn't know why. Maybe because he was my friend, and every time he had a fling, I couldn't get to hang out with him. I breathed out, still smiling at the two. I know you're trying your best. I am. He said it so seriously, but yet with so much sincerity. And with that, I left with Alan. Oh my god, he's in... Oh, Alan is here with me? Oh my... Oh god, I tried to relax, tried to distract myself. I was bundled into a ball at the end of my couch, Alan sitting on the other side. The living room was dark, with only the light of the TV giving any life. My attention wasn't on the TV, however. It was towards Alan. His eyes stayed glued to the screen before he shifted them in my direction. This is the second time I've been caught staring at him. I averted my gaze immediately. It must have been weird to him. You okay? I'm sorry. Are you still upset about what happened? I didn't want to really answer, but my silence was deafening. I'm being stupid. Sorry, I don't know why I got so upset. I couldn't control it. I could see him softening his face at the corner of my eyes. I didn't know why I started rambling to him, but I did. I suddenly felt a weight on top of me. I was being pushed down onto my back. Alan had pinned me, his hands gently wrapping around my wrist. Lionel. You know you can tell me anything. Alan. My heart started to pound and I felt him starting to come closer to my face. I went stiff. In what way? I'm gonna kiss him. I pressed my lips against his. He seemed to be taken by surprise, but I leaned into our kiss. It was deep and passionate. Alan then pressed up against me and I could immediately feel his excitement. I really like your doe eyes. I shivered. His breath tickled the lobes of my ear. You have no idea how you make me feel. Every time I look at you, my heart swells. It's like I want to hold you and never let you go. Ever. His choice of words made me feel something. Although it sounded a tad possessive, he made me feel wanted and cared for. His hands started trailing from my wrists, making their way all over my body. By the way, guys, if it's not obvious, we are gonna go all the way with this. I mean, well, as long as I still have the freedom to have fun with these fun little visual novels, dating sims, whatever, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have fun and just, you know, just go with it. But if you are not of age, if you are not 18 and above, please avert your eyes, maybe skip ahead a little bit, so that your parents don't stop wondering, what in the world are you watching? maybe, just maybe, alright, not check out this part, because we are gonna be getting into the dirty nitty-gritty details, if there are dirty nitty-gritty, if there are dirty, gritty nitty details. I'm doing great today. Let's let him continue. Ellen peppered kisses from my jaw to my collar. Everything about you is perfect. I want to treasure you. You're the only good person in my life. How could I even speak like this with no sweat? Just hearing those words made me look away in embarrassment. I suddenly feel his hands take hold of my face, pulling me towards his direction. Look at me, doe eyes. I want to see your reaction. He shouldn't be this good. Arousal's starting to grow inside of me. One quick, swift motion, he hooked my pants and underwear to my ankles. His mouth was hungry and ravenous, leaving kisses at the exposed skin of my thighs. Then I felt something sharp. Are you biting me? I didn't get an answer, but I could feel the curling of a smirk forming against my inner thigh. The only response was another bite, sinking his teeth deeper. He was trying to mark me, multiple times. You're all ready, just for me. It's a few little bites, all it takes, doe eyes. He could have gotten a retort out of me, but I was stopped when he pulled up my hips towards his face and ran his tongue. Who knew you would taste so sweet as well? His mouth started to work, and in desperation, my own hands focused on running down to his head, where I took fistfuls of his brown hair. The tiniest touch of his, whether it would be a graze of his fingertips or his tongue, was pushing me a little closer to the edge. I could feel the heat building up, like a low burn at the pit of my stomach. He then detached himself. Alan? I don't want to finish just yet, doe eyes. I want more of you. He removed himself from me, hastily removing his clothes. It seemed that he was as desperate as I was. I sure wasn't complaining. He got rid of his turtleneck, tossing it off to the side. My eyes couldn't help but wonder at his amazing bare chest. That was until... Holy shit! I saw a scar. A huge scar. In fact, his whole body was covered in injuries. He was in a way worse shape than I expected. More scratches, cigar burns, and, again, a scar at the side of his abdomen. It didn't look fresh, but still, how long has he had these before? Alan, what happened to you? These. He looked away from my gaze, brushing one of his scars. Some of these are from childhood, others are more recent. We both stood silent, with my concern still weighing down. Don't worry about it. Alan, these are clearly not simple scratch marks. Are you hurt? It's okay, doe eyes. I swear. They didn't even hurt. What? What is he going on about? I'll explain later. Just, please. Let's keep going. I want you right now. I shouldn't push it if he doesn't want to talk about it. Okay. It's okay, doe eyes. You can relax with me. He was soon all over me again, positioning himself between my legs. His hands prying them open. I could feel him. We can take it nice and slow. I want you to want me. All in one go. I feel him buried inside till the hilt. I couldn't help but let my breath hitch. Filled you up pretty good, huh? His hips began to move along with mine. The movement first started slow and quickly, built up speed. God, you feel so good. Can you feel me? All the way in. His mouth went towards my neck, attacking any spot that might cause a reaction. Sure enough, he did. He didn't give me any time to process, but I don't care anymore. I just wanted him. I needed him. Look at you. You look so amazing like this. I can't believe it. Each word he spoke was followed by a rough thrust. Each time I could feel my mind getting fuzzy. I can't believe I get to keep you like this. You're all mine. 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 I was his. All his. He was rough, and I could see him baring his teeth, almost animalistic. Doe eyes. I love you. My mind went blank. He held me tightly as something warm began to fill me. He grunts and we both lie sweating, catching our breaths. My hand drifted up to his brown hair, and I slowly began to stroke it. We must have stayed for a good few minutes, holding each other. Hey, I got an idea. Do you plan on robbing another convenience store again? Helen got up from my chest, rolling his eyes. I'll leave that for another day, but no, I think you'll like this much better. He took my hand and guided me back to the woods. It was a bit of a walk, like most of our little get-togethers, but for some reason it felt longer than before. Gradually, the trees became sparse and patches of the night sky peeked through the branches. We were going uphill, having a bit of a hike on our way there. He seemed to have noticed that I was getting a bit fatigued. If you want, I can carry you. It's no bother. You know what? I'm gonna let him do it. It seemed a little silly, but I wouldn't mind. I raised my arms up, motioning him to pick me up. He smiled at me and just as quickly lifted my body, carrying me bridal style. You're incredibly cute. Shut up. See? We both lay down on the soft grass. The sky was completely bare of any clouds, and the darkness of the woods made the tiniest dots of the stars twinkle brighter. It was so nice and cool out here. I looked over to Alan, eyes glowing with awe. It made me smile, seeing him like a kid in the candy store. What's your favorite? Constellation, I mean. What's your favorite constellation? Let's see. Your zodiac sign. My favorite constellation is... Oh, wait, what? No, that's not what I meant. Man, but I do like Gemini, though. Gemini, Pegasus, Draco... Yeah, whatever. Really? Which one? Oh my god, that's a lot of okay, my Gemini sign. God damn it. That's cool. Yeah? Which one is your favorite? Orion. The hunter one? Why is that? The story behind it is cool. And I share the same last name. Helen Orion. That's your full name? Alan simply gave me a nod, sighing peacefully, taking in the fresh air around us. It's an adorable name. You sure know a lot about constellations, huh? Yeah, ever since I was a kid. This was probably the first thing I know something personal about him. My eyes went from looking at the stars to the stitched scar off his arm. Alan. About those scars. Oh. I see a small drop, and I immediately feel bad for bringing it up. I'm sorry, I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but it's okay. You're just worried about me, right? I give him a nod, laying on my side, looking over to him. I gave him a few moments to collect his thoughts. He finally spoke up. Well, to start off, most of these scars are recent, only due to me and my recklessness. Like? Like trying to feed a bear. I'm sorry, what? Alan? I know, it was dumb. Extremely dumb. I lightly punched his arm, as if it was some sort of punishment for putting himself in danger like that. He only retaliated with a soft chuckle. His smile faded, however. Not all of them are new, though. He shifted uncomfortably. I gave him another moment. I was kinda a troubled kid. Got bullied a lot, and well, got pretty tired of it, that I got physical. So those cigarette burns were from your bullies? No, they were from my older brother. What? You have a brother? He did that to you? I have 3, actually. This was spinning my entire world. Alan must have been through a lot. Is this why he's in the woods? To escape from it all? We were pretty dysfunctional. Mom was constantly in and out of hospital, and so 2 of my older brothers had to take care of us. The eldest, he burned cigarettes on me whenever I would win in a fight, telling me I finally became what I was meant to do. It was to fight back and not let others push me. I'd hate to say it worked. What about your other brothers? Second eldest wanted to pretend that everything was fine and ignore the problems. He was desperately trying to be like the dad of our group, when I didn't need one. I wanted a brother. He heavily sighed after his rant. I kept myself quiet to let him continue. My youngest brother, I got along with him at first, but he wasn't the worst out of all of them, but we had a fallout. I'm sorry. It's alright. They were nothing compared to my school life. I got called crazy-eyed Ellen in my entire class. I only gave him a sad expression, feeling incredibly sorry for him. I scooted closer to him, practically touching shoulders. I can't imagine how long he must have endured it. One instance in particular pushed me over the edge. That day, I decided to drop out of school, leave my family, and never look back. We both stayed silent, continuing to look up at the night sky. I always thought I was meant to be alone. I didn't like being around people. I started to feel his hand starting to brush against mine. That was until I met you, Doe Eyes. He took hold of my hand, squeezing it tightly. It made my heart race. Alan. I look over to him, meeting his eyes, giving me the softest expression I have ever seen from him. I think you have very beautiful eyes. A smile slowly creeped onto him, and I could see his face reddening. Thank you. I think I should go back home now. Alright then. We both got up from our spot. I stretched out my arms, feeling a yawn coming up. Alan noted, standing beside me. Let me carry you. It's fine, Alan. I'm just a little tired. Before I could get on my feet, I felt his arms hook around my legs and back and proceeded to pick me up from the ground at ease. Hey! He gave me a smile, holding me closer to his body. I insist. I gave in, pouting on the way there before my eyes began to grow heavy. I leaned onto his chest, making him my personal pillow, and rested my eyes. I could barely tell what was going on around me, only feeling my body being set down on something soft and comfortable. I smiled, cuddling up to something soft I could find next to me. Before I drifted off to sleep, something warm pressed against my cheek, and I heard Alan's voice. Good night, Doe Eyes. Oh, I freaking love that. Oh my freaking god, I love that. Jesus. Oh. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was My Dear Hatchet Man, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you again so much for coming by, and hey, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. This is Lionel signing off. Actually, you know what? Let's end this with something else, okay? We're just gonna end this with a boop. One boop for you. Alright? Alright, here it comes. Boop. I hope you have an amazing day. See ya.